Okay, so without wasting time, we are still continuing with our Wakissha guide, Wakissha Mathematics 2025. And now in here we are on item 2. Please, we have item 1 in the playlist. You go and check. You go under mock revision items in the playlist, then you will see Wakissha items in there. Okay, so we're going to have most of the mocks revised here, so you keep on the channel. Please subscribe such that in case we post any video you don't miss out. Just subscribe. It only takes less than a minute to do that. Once again, my name is Mtanda Samir. Please, for any concern, you can reach me out to that contact which is down there. It is the very number on WhatsApp, and there we shall get into contact. It can be how can we improve on this. Anyway, you never know, or even just as a friend, still no problem, because that they say united we stand, divided we fall. Alright, good. So with our item 2, let's proceed and see what next here. Okay, so we simply remind you to subscribe to the channel, share, like, and comment. Share, like, and comment. Okay, good. So without wasting time, I think let's move on forward. All right, here we are. So they're saying, let's go through this slowly. Get a laser pen. We get it done. This is our Wakissha 2025 item 2. Okay, they're saying Aisha. Oh, anyway, this time round. Okay, these are Muslims, I think. Aisha and Zaharah are sisters who visited their parents on 1st June 2025. On that day, Aisha resolved to visit their parents every after 5 days, while Zaharah resolved to visit them every after 8 days. However, Aisha is wondering whether they can ever meet their parents together in the near future for purposes of organizing a party for them. Good, to proceed. Aisha is twice as old as Zaharah. They have both agreed to contribute to the party in the ratio of their ages. Great. Zaharah found out that she will contribute Uganda X 650,000. Aisha has to borrow 30% of her contribution, which she had to withdraw from her account using a 4-digit PIN in base 5 after converting 179 base 10. Aisha can wash plates in 4 hours, while Zaharah can wash the same number of plates in 6 hours. They are planning to work together on the party day, but they don't know how much time they will take. Very good. Okay, part A, they're saying, part A, help, get a laser pen here. Okay, they're saying, part A, they're saying, help Aisha to determine the date in the near future on which they can hold the party. Great. Part B, determine the amount Aisha borrowed. Part C, help Zaharah to find the actual 4-digit PIN to use. Lastly, part D, determine the time they will both take to wash the plates. Now, you realize that every part here has got a point of concentration. Let's start with part A. We get it answered. So they're saying, help Aisha to determine the date in the near future on which they can hold the party. So about the date, let's go in the question and get it just analyzed. Now I want to make this clear a little bit. So they say that Aisha and Zaharah are sisters who visited their parents on 1st June 2025. On that day, Aisha resolved that they will resolve to visit their parents every after. Now, whenever I see this word here, every after, then here they're saying 5 days. Then also have Zaharah resolved to visit every after, then you have 80 days. And if you see such kind of writing, every after, then here they say together in the nearby future. Please, if you try to check UNEB last year item 1, it had something, a resemblance of this. Please, you can go in the playlist, you have that video already done of UNEB last year item 1. It has a resemblance of this. Okay, now whenever you see that, then just know we are dealing with LCM. How do we tell that we are going to use LCM? If they say maybe if they're using the word smallest, they give you somebody, they say they want the smallest, they want the lowest. Then also if they use the word every after, when you see that language of every after, then think about LCM. And guess what? We're going to get LCM of simply the days they're talking about, the 5 days and the 8 days. Once you get the LCM, that will be the time they will meet again. But remember, it all started on 1st June 2025, just of recent, I think. Okay, good. Now with that, let's, I think, go there and get part A answered. Okay, but we have known part A calls for LCM. Let's go there. So, shall we begin by saying we get an extract in the question. That is an extract in the question. Visit their parent every after 5 days, while Zahara resolved to visit them every after 80 days. Now, we are trying to get the extract from the question and we move forward. So that means LCM of 5 and 8. I would explain that. Now let's get our tables ready. You all know how to get the LCM. We use prime factors or prime numbers. Of course, in the prime numbers you have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, onwards like that. Please, 9 is not a prime number. Hope that really makes some sense. Let's get our ladder method or our ladder drawn. Then we put in the values in there. Alright, good. So we have it done. Now we want to get LCM. Get this here, this. So we need to get here LCM 5 and 8. So we shall use 2, the 5 remains. Here we shall have 4. We use 2 again, the 5 remains. Here we shall have a 2. We use 2 again, 5 remains. We have a 1. Okay, once you have a 1, it has ceased. So which number can reach? Can 2 work again? No. You cannot go to 5. Because can 2 work? No. 3 by 5? No. 4 cannot work. So you go to 5, and here shall have a 1 and a 1 there. So the LCM will be equal to the 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, and that will give us simply 40 days. Alright, good. And that's the rough cut we're going to have right here. Okay, so we have it as that. Divide by 2, 5 remains. We have 4 there. Again by 2, the 5 remains. We get a 2. We get it by 2, 5 remains. We have a 1 there. We have it by 5. Then we have finally a 1. Okay. Then how shall we get LCM? Please, here you simply divide this by this, and the answer I have is that. We simply divide this by that, and the answer I have is this. Okay. We simply divide this by that, this by this, and we simply have that. Now, if we find 5 divided by 2, it cannot go. 5 divided by 2, it will give you 2.5. But the other method does not entertain decimal, so you just maintain the number and leave it the way it is. Okay, good. Now let's have our LCM ready. So LCM is equal to, we multiply all the values here, but of course in terms of days. Remember, 5 was in terms of days, even the 8 was in terms of days. So your answers also must be in terms of days. Alright, good. So LCM will be equal to 40. Now, of course, let's go and analyze. Remember, they started on 1st June 2025, and here I want to see what will happen here. So they last met on 1st June 2025. Then, but June has 30 days. Alright, you all know that June has 30 days. So we must count from 1st June. We must count 40 days ahead. Which date will that be in the nearby future? So shall say we have that ready. Okay. Alright, good. So I can explain from here. So the 40 days are the same as a 30, which makes 1 month of June, plus the 10 days. Realize that when you add this plus this, you will get a 30. So, but as you add 30 days, you will now be in July. The 30 days take you to July, which is a new month. 30 days take you to July, which is a new month. Now remaining are the 10 days. So how shall we do that? Since you are in July and you have a remainder of 10 days, that means that the date will be 10th of July. Please, I hope you understand. These 30 days here are equal to 1 month. And 1 month from June will be July. Then extra of 10 days, which will take us to 10th July. Then we can conclude and say, concluding, we shall have, I try to conclude. Alright, good. So the party date is 10th July 2025, and that has been successfully answered. We strictly use LCM. Please, you can visit our playlist under what we call the section A revision math items, you go there. We have a lot more of questions of this type. All right, let's go to part B. Part B, they're saying, we have it right there. They're saying, okay, get it here, some ink. So they're saying, determine the amount Aisha borrowed. Determine the amount Aisha borrowed. Now, borrowing the amount. Let's get the question and see. Borrowing the amount. Let's get the question and see. We are done with part A. Let's get the question and see. Borrowing. Okay, good. Now have. They're saying, okay, good. Now remember the one about LCM ended here. In fact, the whole of this part gave us LCM. We're moving. So that we can't have again anything to do with money there. So Aisha is twice as old as Zaharah. Good. They both agree to contribute Uganda X 650,000. Okay. In fact, they all agree to contribute to the party in the ratio of their ages. In the ratio of their ages. Take note of that. Now, please, this language here, if they say Aisha is twice as old as Zaharah. Now, does it mean here this is the first person and this is the second person they are talking of? I want to explain this, how we digest this. You always let this second person here. So here would say, let Zaharah's what? Age be X. That's what we do. You let this last one here to be X, not the first one. Then it means that with Aisha's age, it will be 2x. Of course, twice means times 2. So the last one you let it to be x, then this twice or thrice works on this first one here. Hope that really makes some sense. Now we have that, but let's first of all go and get that into in terms of ratio. How shall I get that into ratio? Allow me use letter A for Aisha and letter Z for Zaharah. Now Aisha is x, Aisha is 2x and Z is x. But how can I write this into a ratio? You're going to know the x's, so you have 2 to 1. That's the ratio we have right there. But then I think Zaharah found out that she will contribute Uganda shillings 650. Zaharah will contribute Uganda shillings 650. Zaharah found out that she will contribute Uganda shillings 650. So Zaharah is contributing 650. Let's go there and see. First of all, in that first part, we're going to see part B. Let's go there. Okay, part B, we're going to say an extract from the question. We shall say Aisha is twice as old as Zaharah. They both have agreed to contribute to the party in the ratio of their ages. So now we begin off by let Zaharah's age be X, like that. Now let's have them arranged in ratios. So Zaharah to Aisha, right? Good. Then we're going to have, if Zaharah is X, then Aisha will be 2X. I hope we are on the same page there. So it means that now, but what you're going to do here, you can be more like, you know what the X is. So this one is same as coefficient 1. Here coefficient is just what? 2. So therefore here we shall have 1 to 2 as an organized ratio. Okay, let's go there. So 1 to 2. But again, you must know that Zaharah got how much in the question? Zaharah got 650,000. This is what Zaharah got. And if Zaharah got that, remember here you have a 1. Once you have 1 here, you multiply it by 2. To get this, you multiply what you have there by 2. So 1 times 2, you have that. So it means that even here, to get what is here, you multiply this by 2. You multiply that by 2, and that's the answer you shall have right here. And I think if you multiply, you get here 1,300,000. After multiplying, that's what you get right there. Please, when I have here 1, it goes to a 2. So it means that here you multiply by 2. 1 times 2, you get that. So we will multiply this also by 2 to get what Aisha had. Okay, so with that, let's go there. So that will now give us a 2 times 650,000. Please, I want to explain this more. Once I have here 1, what you have here, you multiply it by 2 in order to get that. Multiply by 2 in order to get that. So it means that even this, multiply it by 2 in order to get there. And then you shall have the answer as just that. So the answer will be 1,300,000. So it means that when this one has 650 times 2, shall have that already. Now, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that, but now from the question we know that, Aisha borrowed 30% of her contribution. Remember, Aisha contributed 1,300,000. thousands. So if she borrowed 30%, what does it mean? We shall now say a 30, in fact have it as a 30 over 100 times that 1,300,000, and guess what? We shall get 1,390,000. So we can now conclude and say, therefore, Aisha borrowed 390,000 shillings. Please, the question said Aisha has had to borrow 30% of her contribution, and this is Zahara's contribution, this is Aisha's contribution. So if she has to borrow 30% of her contribution, so you get 30 over 100 times that very amount, and that gets our part B of this mighty Wakissha item 2 answered. Let's still go to part C. Let's go there. So part C is saying, help Zahara to find the actual 4-digit pin to use anyway. So now they're talking about a pin. They're talking about a pin. Allow me resolve. They're talking about a pin. Now, if it's a pin, remember, this first part here gave us LCM. This second part from up to here, gave us the right. That part we have calculated the ratios. Okay. Now this last part they're saying she had to withdraw from her account using a 4-digit pin. A 4-digit pin in base 5 after converting this. So we're going to convert 179 base 10 to base 5 in order to get a 4-digit pin right there. And of course, let's go there. How the conversions are done, let's go there. We are going to part C, get it answered. So unexpected from the question, still have it there. So a 4-digit pin in base 5 after converting 179. So that implies that we are going to have 179 base 10, converting it to base 5 in simple terms. Here we shall use our table still again. And please, as our table is coming by, you realize that here we use what we call the BNR, whereby this B is for the base, this N is for the number, and this R is for the remainder. Remainder, not reminder. Anyway. Right. So I think let's see. Now this means that we're going to have our B right here, our N right there, and our remainder right there. Now our base, our number is always the 179 we want to convert. This B is the base 5 we have right there, like that. Now 179 divided by 5, it will go there 35 times. The remainder is 4, like that. Please, I hope you have a calculator. By the way, also try pressing that and confirm if that is true, really. If that is really true, you try to multiply that, because now, if you don't, you may be caught offside a little bit. Now, you find that when you make this 35 times 5 gives us how much? Gives us 175. And 175 compared to 179, the remainder will be 4, like that. Again, by what? By 5. It goes there 7 times. Remainder is 0. By the 7 times, remainder is 0. Next, by 5 again. So 7 divided by 5, 5 goes there once. Remainder what? 2. And now our answer will start from here up to there. And now our 4-digit pin will be 1, 2, 0, 4. But this time around in the base what? 5. And that will be game down. Let's get there. Right, good. So let's start. We have N, B, B and R. Okay, I've explained. B is for base, N is for number, R is for remainder. So let's get it done here. 179 by 5, remainder is 4, we get 35. Again by 5, remainder is 0, we get a 7. Again by 5, remainder is 2, we get a 1. And of course, why do we end here? 1 cannot be divided by 5. The number here must be bigger than the number this side in order for the divisions to take place. So this one is less, so you end there. Now your answer will be corrected from there right up there. So cancel this. So our answer will be that upwards up to there. And let's get it done here. Conclude. So you're going to have a 1204 base 5. Let's conclude. Finally, we shall now get a conclusion. Please, in new curriculum, you must always give a conclusion on each and every answer you get, more like a statement form like this one. So we say the actual pin to use is 1204 in base 5. Please, it is very wrong. I want to clarify on this. It's very wrong to read this one as 1204 in base 5. You read digit per digit, digit per digit. Maybe in base 10 you can read at once, but if not in the base 10, you read one by one. That's what I mean here. Alright, without wasting time still, let's conclude with part D and we call it a day. Okay. separate the sink. Determine the time they will both take to wash the plates. Anyway, about washing the plates, what must we know? Erase this off. Erase this off. So this one was a 4-in-1. Anyway, we in for it. So washing plates, this one will be, in fact, get rid ink. So the sink, Aisha can wash plates in 4 hours, while Zahara can wash the same plates in 6 hours. You see the time is different. They are planning to work together on the party day, but they don't know how much time they will take. Okay, now the time of working together, and there are 2 people, we have got a formula there. We know that time of 2 people, you all know this formula, please, is equal to what you do. You get a product of their time over sum of their time, and that will imply that the product will be a 4 times 6, a sum will be a 4 plus 6. When you add, the answer you get will be 2.4 hours. However, let's go and get it answered the other side in part D. It is our culture to always extract a part of the question so that we remind ourselves. We extract another part of the question. So we say Aisha can wash plates in 4 hours, while Zahara can wash the same number of plates in 6 hours. That's the conclusion you can bring here. Now what does it mean? Let's get a formula here. That time of 2 people is equal to that. So a formula you're getting is that time of 2 people is equal to product of their time. Okay, product means you're going to multiply, sum means you're going to add. Product of their time over sum of their time. So let's get this. Now we find that we had a 4 hours right here, it's done, we have right there, and we had a 6 hours done, we have right there. Product, multiply, sum, add. So you shall get this in the next part. So 4 times 6, you get a 24. 4 plus 6, you get a 10. You divide that, what are you going to have? A time of 2 people will be 2.4 hours. 2.4 hours. That's the time they will take, both of them, to do the work. Let's conclude and say they will both take 2.4 hours to wash the plates. And this was the item 2 of Wakissha. You really see that things were not all that hard. Okay, they were a bit friendly. Okay, still again, I would like to end there. This is done. Please keep checking, subscribe, such that you also get to watch item 3, item 4, item 5, and item 6. Okay, good. Nice day, nice time. Wish you well.